All right, on the previous slide, you should have seen this math tip about squaring a difference and then taking the square root. That's what we're going to do here in section 5, covering questions 14 and 15. Number 14 asks, use the Pythagorean theorem. Now recall that the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now remember, these are my legs, and this is my hypotenuse. My hypotenuse, HYP. Okay? So it says, use the Pythagorean theorem to write an expression for the length of the hypotenuse of the right triangle. Number 15, write a formula that can be used to find the distance, d, between 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, on the coordinate plane. This, again, we're still working in this abstract kind of mindset. We're just dealing with in general. We're not actually plugging in particular numbers. So it's a little harder to visualize. But again, I'm only going to go ahead and give 4 minutes. If you're going to need a little bit more time, I'll check back at about the 3-minute mark and see where we're at. Go ahead, pause your video for the next 4 minutes and try to work through questions 14 and 15. All right, the answers to questions 14 and 15 have now been provided. I showed that I substituted in this horizontal leg back here from question 12 and the vertical leg back from question 13 into the Pythagorean theorem, which said the a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Because remember, one of the horizontal or the vertical, one would have been my a, the other one would have been my b. So I squared each one of those because that's what the formula calls for. And I set that equal to c squared. But it asked me to write an expression. So all I did was, in order to solve for this unknown or the hypotenuse, why do I keep saying that? Hypotenuse, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So I took the square root of what I had over here, and that would give me the value of c, or that slanted hypotenuse. Now, here in question 15. Question 15 said, write a formula. So this is a little bit different. It's asking us to set up an equation, basically. And that formula that they're asking us to do is the distance formula. And they're telling us to label this as D. How can I write a formula to find the D, or the distance between these 2 points? So I did D equals basically what I had here in question number 14, except since we're squaring the difference, regardless of whether I'm squaring a value of 3 or -3, my answer is going to be positive, so I don't have to worry about that negative anymore. So instead, you're going to see when you come up to the distance formula, they have replaced the absolute value bars with parentheses because we're squaring the entire number, what that value is. And when we do that, we're going to get a positive regardless. So, on to your debriefing question.